Good day, Mr. President. What I'm about to propose may sound like a farce or a joke, but it's not. I'm as serious about this as I am about paying my taxes, which I've done faithfully, albeit reluctantly, for about 35 years. If you would like to give the tax-paying, law-abiding citizens of the United States a little bit of hope and elevate their spirits after the economic roller coaster we've been on for the last few years, this idea would not only do that, but it would do that and more. Over the last few election cycles and taking in some of the recent stalemates over taxes, it's become pretty clear that paying taxes is both a contentious issue and something that Republicans apparently like to do even less than Democrats. I was mulling over a claim that a friend of mine made, saying that the lottery is just a regressive tax. I wasn't quite sure what he meant by it, but it sounded like a pretty negative assessment. But it was the fact that the two words tax and lottery were mentioned in the same sentence that I came up with this idea. Why not include the lottery as part of the Internal Revenue Service's collection process? The premise is simple. Use a carrot approach instead of the stick. From what I understand, the IRS spends over $10 billion each year collecting what's owed the federal government. Eesh. Why not randomly select winners from the pool of taxpayers and give law-abiding tax-paying citizens a real incentive to pay their taxes? Not only would this bring the federal coffers back into the black, but it would make you the most popular president since JFK. It might even tone down the drivel and rhetoric from the right about increasing taxes or keeping the Bush tax cuts permanently. I'm sure that a reasonable pot could be directed towards this program. As an example, let's say 10,000 people get the taxes they owe waived. Another 10,000 get their refunds doubled. And 50 get a nice clean million. Of the $2.3 trillion, 2.3 plus trillion dollars that the IRS is planning on collecting annually, if this increases the voluntary filings by even 10%, the program would more than pay for itself. Why, more money than that is probably embezzled, that's code for earmarked or pork, from government coffers unnoticed. The amount spent on this program would be a drop in the bucket. As a tax-paying citizen, not only would I like the idea, but I would probably feel a lot better about the $500+ I pay each year. I pay a bean counter each year for preparing my tax returns. I think it's a win-win-win. The federal government gets more taxes for less cost and effort. A few citizens get lucky, and you get a bronze statue erected in your honor as the most creative, innovative president in history. You've got a lot of firsts to be proud of, and you could add another feather in your cap with this idea. I'd love to hear what you think about this proposal. And by the way, I really enjoyed the audacity of hope. Sincerely, Avner Uzan.